Winning MVP in the NFL is a big deal. It means you had one of those seasons, the kinds fans don't forget. But here's the thing about the MVP. It guarantees regular season greatness, but absolutely nothing after that. Sometimes the MVP wins it all, other times they lose in the first round. And every once in a while, they put up video game numbers and still somehow get bounced by Joe Flacco. This is what actually happened to every NFL MVP since 2010. 2010, Tom Brady. In 2010, Tom Brady was running the league. 36 touchdowns, 4 picks. The Patriots finished 14-2 and looked ready to win it all. But then came Mark Sanchez. The Jets came to Foxborough, shut down the Patriots offense, and Brady's season ended in the divisional round. Yes, this is the same Mark Sanchez who had the butt fumble. He beat the MVP in the playoffs. In 2011, Aaron Rodgers won MVP. He had a ridiculous season. 45 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and the Packers went 15-1, winning the NFC North and the whole NFC in general. They looked unbeatable, but then they ran into the Giants, who had 9 regular season wins. Green Bay's offense suddenly fell apart. Drop passes, turnovers, you name it, it happened. Rodgers was good, but not great, and the Giants knocked him out in the first game. As a Lions fans, I love hearing that, but let's get into 2012. 2012, Adrian Peterson tore his ACL at the end of 2011. He carried the Vikings into the playoffs. The problem, the quarterback was Joe Webb, which to be real, I never heard of that guy before, but no disrespect to him, but they lost in the wild card to Green Bay. Peterson did everything he could, but you can only carry so much, no pun intended. 2013, Peyton Manning. This might be the most dominant regular season from any quarterback ever. 55 touchdowns, over 5,400 yards. The Broncos set scoring records and looked unstoppable. They made the Super Bowl and then somehow got steamrolled by the Seattle Seahawks. The first play of the game was a snap over Manning's head for a safety. Final score, 53-8. Not exactly the ending Denver had in mind. 2014, Aaron Rodgers won his second MVP after leading Green Bay to a 12-4 record. 38 touchdowns and just 5 interceptions. It was classic peak Rodgers. They beat Dallas in the divisional round. They went to Seattle for the NFC Championship. They had a 12-point lead with 5 minutes left and lost. Rodgers threw 2 picks and the Packers collapsed in historical fashion. That game still haunts Packers fans. In 2015, Cam Newton won his first MVP. 45 total touchdowns, 15-1 record. He was the most unstoppable dual-threat quarterback in the league. The Panthers made the Super Bowl and were favored to win it all, but the Broncos defense, led by Von Miller, was everywhere. Cam got sacked twice and coughed up the ball twice. And then came the most infamous Cam Newton play, the fumble that Cam didn't dive on. Carolina lost, and the internet never let Cam forget that he didn't dive on the football. 2016, Matt Ryan had his best year in 2016. Nearly 5,000 yards, 38 touchdowns, 7 picks. He led the Falcons to the Super Bowl, and for 3 quarters, it looked like a storybook ending. Atlanta went up 28-3. Then Brady did Brady things. The Falcons completely collapsed, Ryan got sacked, the offense stalled, and they never touched the ball in overtime. MVP season, remember for a meme. 2017. Brady, now 40 years old, led the league in passing yards. The Patriots went 13-3, and Brady added another MVP to the shelf. But the Patriots defense figured out how to cover anyone. 2018, Patrick Mahomes. In his first year as a starter, Mahomes put up 55 touchdowns and over 5,000 passing yards. He was electric. The Chiefs made it to the AFC Championship game and faced the Patriots. They lost in overtime, and Mahomes never got to touch the ball. He was great, but the defense couldn't get a stop. The NFL changed the overtime rules years later because of this exact game. 2019, Lamar Jackson. Lamar took over the league in 2019. Over 1,200 rushing yards and 36 passing touchdowns. The Ravens went 14-2. Then the Titans shut up in the divisional round and ended the party. Derrick Henry ran wild and Lamar turned it over 3 times. That team looked unstoppable for 3 months, but then they didn't win a single playoff game. 2020, Aaron Rodgers. Another MVP season for Rodgers, 48 touchdowns and just 5 picks. The Packers were the number 1 seed in the NFC. They beat the Rams, then faced Brady and the Bucs in the NFC title game. Rodgers was solid, but the Packers made some weird decisions, like kicking a field goal down 8 with 2 minutes left. They never got the ball back, and Rodgers never got another ring. 2021, back-to-back MVPs for Rodgers, this time 37 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Green Bay went 13-4, but again, the playoffs weren't kind. The Niners came into Lambeau in the divisional round, and they didn't score a single offensive touchdown and still won. Rodgers couldn't get the offense going in the snow, and his season ended at home. 2022, Mahomes lost Tyreek Hill. Everyone expected the offense to slow down, but instead he won MVP again. 41 touchdowns, nearly 5,300 passing yards, and this time he did win it all. Mahomes beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl despite playing on one good ankle. The MVP finally matched the ring. 2023, Lamar Jackson. Lamar came back healthy and put together another dominant season. Over 3,600 passing yards and over 800 rushing yards. 13-4 record, #1 seed in the AFC. But in the AFC Championship game, Lamar Jackson did what Lamar Jackson does in the playoffs. They ran into Mahomes and lost. Baltimore scored just 10 points. And just like that, the MVP season ended one game short of the Super Bowl. Now Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills gunslinger, finally took home the MVP in 2024. This guy threw for over 3,700 passing yards and ran for 500 more, and somehow managed to avoid turning the ball over more than a handful of times. But then Josh Allen ran to the Chiefs, his kryptonite, and they lost in heartbreaking fashion by a Dalton Kincaid drop. But anyways, this is what happened to all MVPs since 2010. If you guys like this type of content, like and subscribe. More than half didn't even win a single playoff game. That's the crazy part about this. Regular season glory is cool, but Super Bowl rings, that's what you really are remembered for. The MVPs are cool, but Cam Newton should have jumped on the ball. Lamar should play better. Josh Allen shouldn't be losing to the Chiefs. So, yeah, but I hope you guys liked the video. Go join the Discord in the bio, like and subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.